wait a minute, Scott. One good thing did come out of all this.
Oh yeah, what's that?
We make great partners.
In case the curse does not succeed, this is my lucky stake. I've killed many vampires with it. I want it to win, Dawson.
Nikki. Your family.
That don't mean you know me.
Quit it, Nikki.
Quit what? I ain't walking on eggshells just because you brought the gravy.
Hey.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah. Things have been kind of busy.
My water just broke. We need to call the doula.
This is it. He's coming.
I've gotten to sort of reach so many different generations, and I've gotten to play so many different kinds of characters, so many different ages. That's what an actor wants.
How does someone play a teenager for 19 consecutive years without aging a single day?
So, maybe we should try to catch up sometime?
As a matter of fact, people say that she's aging backwards. And what we're about to uncover isn't just about good genes. There's a family secret so powerful it shaped American music history. But the final truth about Bianca Lawson, that will leave you speechless.
Don't say that. It's not true.
I left you like...
March 20th, 1979, Los Angeles. A child is born who will break every rule Hollywood has about aging. At 9 years old, Bianca Lawson made a decision. But what drove a child to choose a life most adults can't survive?
I mean, it can be heartbreaking. It can be frustrating. It can be... I love the experience of losing myself in a character, losing myself in a moment, but all the other stuff around it, right?
Yeah.
It's always that thing of how do you have a very thin, porous skin to have your emotions right there at the surface to express them and channel them, but you have to have a very thick skin for the rest of it.
The answer lies in her blood. Her mother's maiden name, Gordy, as in Barry Gordy, the man who built Motown from absolutely nothing. And here's what nobody talks about. Barry Gordy originally wanted to be a boxer. His sisters owned businesses when black women weren't supposed to own anything. They kept losing money on Barry's failed ventures, but they never stopped believing. They kept reinvesting, kept pushing, until Motown became the soundtrack of a generation.
And his siblings at the time, his sisters, they owned businesses, cleaners and record labels and grocery stores at a time in Detroit where black women were not, but they owned all of these businesses and they just kept reinvesting in him.
That's Bianca's great uncle. But wait, her half-brother, Marvin Gaye III, son of the legend himself. Through her mother, Denise Gordy's relationship with Marvin Gaye, Bianca inherited a connection to one of music's most iconic voices. This isn't just Hollywood privilege, this is royalty. But there's another connection nobody saw coming. In April 2015, Bianca's father, actor Richard Lawson, married someone who would change the family dynamic forever. Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mother. Overnight, Bianca Lawson became stepsister to the biggest pop star on the planet. Think about it. Bianca went from having Motown royalty on one side to being connected to music royalty on the other. But here's the twist. She never used those connections. She built her career on her own terms. There's pressure when you're born into something already built. Everyone's watching, waiting for you to fail. Or worse, waiting on you to simply ride the coattails. But Bianca had something nobody expected. In 1993, she's 14 years old. Saved by the Bell, the new class premieres, and Bianca lands the role of Megan Jones.
I'll loan you Commander Cody if you come over to my house.
No.
But here's the twist that makes this moment legendary. Her real-life father, Richard Lawson, plays her on-screen father in the same show. Reality and fiction bleeding together. A daughter and father navigating Hollywood's maze side by side. Most actors would kill for that kind of safety net, but for Bianca, it was just the beginning. She's 14, playing 17, and this is where the mystery begins. Between 1995 and 1999, Bianca becomes the face you see everywhere, but can't quite place. Sister Sister as Rhonda Coley, The Steve Harvey Show as Rosalind, She's mastering the art of the recurring role, the character who shows up just enough to be memorable, but not enough to be defined by one show. And then 1996 changes everything. Bianca gets cast as Cordelia in a new show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
You talk about slaying like it's a job. It's not. It's who you are.
Get that from your handbook.
The role of a lifetime, the character that would launch someone into stardom. She's ready. The contracts are being drawn up. And then she has to walk away. Good behavior won't release her. Contractual obligations. The role goes to Charisma Carpenter instead. Most actors never recover from a loss like that. Their agents call, says we're sorry, and you watch someone else become a star in a role that was supposed to be yours. But Bianca, she's playing a longer game. In 1997, she returned to Buffy as Kendra Young, the vampire slayer who changed everything about the show's mythology.
Who attacked me? Who the hell are you?
I'm Kendra, the vampire slayer.
The girl who proved Buffy wasn't alone. The character who showed there could be more than one chosen one. Some would call it a consolation prize, but those who know understand it was a power move. Then in 1999, Bianca landed on Dawson's Creek as Nikki Green, the rival character who shakes up the core group.
I'm doing the divorce kid shuffle. Mom's a techie. She's been transferred to Chicago, so
She's now 20 years old in real life, still playing teenagers, and nobody's questioning it yet. But 2001, that's when everything explodes. Save the Last Dance hit theaters like a cultural earthquake. Julia Stiles, Sean Patrick Thomas, a love story that crosses racial lines through ballet and hip-hop. The film grosses over $131 million worldwide. Bianca plays Nikki, and she steals every scene she's in with a quiet intensity that makes you rewind.
ain't nobody dissed or dismissed me, Derek. I laid him off.
She fired me.
Except here's what's strange. Julia Stiles ages. Sean Patrick Thomas ages. Everyone in the cast moves into adult roles naturally. But Bianca, she's about to do something that defies every law of Hollywood aging. By 2009, the Vampire Diaries casting begins. They need someone to play Emily Bennett, a witch with a complex backstory. They cast Bianca Lawson, who is now 30 years old in real life, still playing someone in their late teens.
The fact that, I've gotten to sort of reach so many different generations, and I've gotten to play so many different kinds of characters, so many different ages, that's what an actor wants.
And that's just the warm-up. In 2010, Pretty Little Liars explodes onto ABC Family. They need someone to play Maya St. Germain, Emily Phil's girlfriend, a groundbreaking LGBTQ+ storyline for teen television. They need someone who can play 17. They cast Bianca Lawson, who is now 31 years old in real life. Let's do the math. From 1993's Saved by the Bell: The New Class to 2012's Pretty Little Liars, Bianca played teenagers for 19 consecutive years. As of 2013, she has officially portrayed 17-year-olds for longer than most people are actually teenagers.
And I think when I was younger, I got cast as a lot of kind of mean girls, bitches, I'm gonna steal your man. And I was nothing like that. I was such an introverted nerd that had no friends.
The internet exploded. Bianca Lawson has been 17 since the Clinton administration became a viral meme. Twitter went wild. Instagram flooded with a side-by-side comparison. Was she a vampire? Did she have a painting in her attic, aging in her place? Had she discovered the fountain of youth? People started calling her the ageless wonder, the forever teenager. Fan theories got increasingly elaborate. Some claim she was part of a government experiment. Others joke she made a deal with the devil. The truth, it's more fascinating than any theory. She graduated from Marymount High School in Los Angeles. Italian, Native American, Portuguese, and Creole blood runs through her veins. She attended the Stella Adler Studio of Acting, studied film and psychology at the University of Southern California. Maybe it's the genetic lottery, maybe it's the training, but there's a secret to her longevity that has nothing to do with her appearance. Young Bianca was fearless. Rejection didn't touch her. Audition after audition, no after no, she kept going. Started acting at 9 years old in Barbie and Revlon commercials. Never looked back. But as she got older, something changed.
As I got older, there have been times when I've wanted to quit for sure. And it's always like right when you're at the precipice of quitting, this amazing opportunity comes into your life and doesn't let you quit.
There were moments she wanted to quit, dark moments. The business was crushing her spirit, the frustration of loving the craft, but hating everything around it. And then, right when she'd reached the edge, ready to walk away forever, something would pull her back. Between roles, Bianca was everywhere.
King, where you got this? Interesting family. All right, do I have that right?
Hey, Talia. I was just about to call Marlon. Got your weekly ready. How are you?
I'm better.
Teen Wolf as Miss Morrell, Witches of East End. Rogue as Talia Freeman. She was the actress who could be anyone, any age, any emotion, the ultimate chameleon. Casting directors had her on speed dial. Need someone vulnerable? Call Bianca. Need someone dangerous? Call Bianca. Need someone who can play 16 or 26 or 36? Call Bianca. But in 2016, everything changed. Ava DuVernay was casting Queen Sugar for Oprah's own network. The character, Darla Sutton, a woman battling addiction, fighting for custody of her son, barely surviving minute by minute. 2 episodes, a quick antagonist, in and out.
I would never do to you what you're doing to me right now. Never.
The character breakdown said stylish and glamorous. Bianca shows up in jean shorts, a tank top, and chucks. No makeup, hair undone, looking like someone who didn't have time to look in a mirror because she was too busy trying not to relapse.
And originally in the breakdown, it was like, she's stylish and she's glamorous, this and that. And so I go in there and I'm in like no makeup and little jean shorts and a tank top and my chucks. And because I was like, you know what? I want to like play her real. The woman that's just really trying to make it through the day, sober, with no support, by herself, doesn't have time to curl her hair, is just trying to survive those minute-to-minute things of that quiet struggle.
She wanted to play Darla as real, as a woman with no support, no time for glamour, just trying to make it through one more day. And when Ava DuVernay gave her a note during the audition, everything shifted. Every time Ralph Angel says something to you, I want you to feel it like he's hitting you. Feel the blow, absorb it, push through it, then say your line.
I remember you saying to me that when you guys saw the dailies, you were like, oh, he hates her so much because he loves her so much.
That's what it felt like.
There was no way to think through that direction. You just had to feel it. They shot her first major scene on a frat night, Friday into Sunday morning, 5 a.m., empty parking lot. Rain had just stormed through Louisiana. The sun was chasing them. 1 hour to shoot the most emotionally devastating scene of the season. Bianca and Kofi Cerebro, hospital. Ralph Angel's father's dying. Darla showing up, desperate, broken, still fighting for the man she loved. When the producers saw the dailies, they understood something immediately. He hates her so much because he loves her so much. That Romeo and Juliet energy, star-crossed lovers from different worlds, torn apart by circumstance, unable to deny what they feel. Darla wasn't leaving after 2 episodes.
I can't go. Listen to yourself.
Listen to me.
She was staying for 6 years. And the chemistry between Bianca and Kofi Cerebro, it became the heartbeat of the show. For 6 seasons, viewers watched Ralph Angel and Darla fight, break up, reconcile, have a child together, get married. The relationship felt so real that fans started shipping the actors themselves.
We can't do this alone. I don't know what we're doing.
You're okay.
Listen to me, darling.
We cannot do this alone.
By August 2022, the rumors reached a fever pitch. Bianca and Kofi did a steamy photo shoot for Ebony magazine, celebrating the final season of Queen Sugar. The images were electric. Bianca in silky lingerie sitting on Kofi's lap, engaging in intimate poses that had fans losing their minds. Social media exploded. Were they together in real life? The chemistry couldn't just be acting, could it? But Bianca, true to form, said nothing. She posted the photos on her Instagram at Bianca Jasmine Lawson, where she has 395,000 followers with no caption explaining the nature of their relationship. Because that's who Bianca Lawson is. Private, intentional, mysterious.
It's the love of the storytelling. There have been characters that I've embodied that I needed to at that time that helped me with my stuff.
While other actors build empires on Instagram, Bianca chose mystery, and there's a reason for that. She thinks about Prince. What did you really know about Prince's personal life? Nothing. And that made the music more powerful. When you only see someone through their art, the magic stays intact.
Okay. And all of the actors and artists that I admired, when you saw them, you just saw that character. You didn't know about the things in their life, you know. And there's something very powerful about that. I don't know that much about Prince, you know. So that was just sort of like, I was a bit old school in that way that I loved that. And I'm a really private person anyways.
Yeah.
At 45 years old, Bianca Lawson has never been married. She has no children. She's been linked to Spanish actor Ness from 2004 to 2009 and recently to Kofi Sarabo, but she's never confirmed anything publicly. Her relationship status remains one of Hollywood's best-kept secrets. And maybe that's exactly how she wants it. By the way, Bianca is still gorgeous and youthful, and maybe now she could still act the role of a teenager. What are your thoughts? Leave a comment down below.
I mean, I think I'd make a great researcher. I have a little bit OCD mind. Like I'm always, scanning for data. Like, what does this mean? What does that mean?
If she weren't acting, she'd be a researcher. That OCD mind, always scanning for data, finding patterns others miss. It's what makes her character work so precisely. But Queen Sugar forced Bianca to use more of herself than any other role. Darla required the most of her actual self. She'd always enjoyed hiding behind characters, using imagination instead of memory. But Darla forced her to confront her own experiences, her own pain.
She became very sort of dear to me and reminded me of people in my life. And so in a way, it was like a way of honoring them.
Addiction had been very close to her real life. Family, friends. She watched it destroy people she'd loved. Now she had to channel all that pain into a character who was fighting for her life one day at a time.
Especially for people that I think have gone through similar things as her. I just love that hopefully it gives them some hope that no matter what your past is, right? No matter what has happened, no matter how other people are perceiving you, as long as you keep believing in yourself, you can win.
For 6 years, Bianca lived parallel to Darla.
It is surreal, and I may not fully know how I feel until some time has passes because I've lived with her for 6 years.
Yeah.
It's almost like I've lived a parallel life with her.
Every relapse on screen echoed real relapses she's witnessed. Every moment of shame, every flicker of hope, every fight for redemption, it was all real. And New Orleans, it became home. She knew her neighbors in New Orleans better than people she lived near for a decade in LA.
I realized that New Orleans felt more like my home than my actual home. And the people are incredibly warm and incredibly helpful. And so I'd sort of had this whole little community that had built up that I didn't even realize, you know? And I know like none of my neighbors really in my building that I lived in here for 10 years, but I knew like all my neighbors in my building in New Orleans.
The city claimed her. The spiritual energy of a place built on joy and tragedy in equal measure.
And so I loved it, and I think it lended itself to a kind of texture and an energy where you maybe couldn't recreate that somewhere else, you know, because you're in New Orleans and the weather and the people and the food, and it's a very spiritual place.
Oh, yeah.
And it's different, you know? It's different.
Working with Ava DuVernay opened up something Bianca didn't know was possible. One night at 1 a.m., Bianca couldn't find her way into a scene. She called Ava. The director pulled over on the side of the road, opened the script up on her phone, and talked Bianca through it until the truth revealed itself. That's the kind of director who changes your life. Working with baby Daisy brought unexpected joy. The newest addition to the Borderland family on screen.
once I met her, I was like, oh, this is going to be great. And Kofi and I would fight over who gets to hold her in the scene. It'd be written that Darla holds her and Kofi would find a reason to be like, well, no, but I think Ralph Angel more realistic. So no. I looked forward to those days when I'm like, oh, Daisy's going to be in the scene. Fantastic.
Daisy's grandmother told Bianca something profound. Daisy was a twin. Her brother died while they were both still in the womb. That's why Daisy is so tough, the grandmother said. She's already had hardship. And maybe that's what drew Bianca to roles like Darla, characters who've had hardship but keep fighting.
Kind of stays the same, very one-dimensional, but I've got to, almost like I've experienced a whole other life with her. Yes. And everything, just the whole range of colors. And it's just, especially for people that I think have gone through similar things as her. I just love that hopefully it gives them some hope.
That 4-hour breakfast with Barry Gordy changed Bianca's perspective on everything. It's easier to stay out of something than to get into it and then try to get out.
Like he'll say, it's easier to stay out of something than to get into something,
Oh, shit.
Like,
that's a gem.
That's a jewel. Stay out of.
Simple wisdom from a man who built an empire. Stay on your path. Don't get distracted by shining things off to the side. But Barry also told her about pressure, about being born into something already built. His generation works so hard for generational wealth, but when you're born into it, there's this need to make your own mark.
Generation, his brothers and sisters, and then their parents, they worked so hard and built it up. And, talk about like sort of generational wealth and legacy. But sometimes when you then you kind of didn't go through that process, and so you're born into it, and so you're around it, but you want to also make your own mark.
Bianca understood that. The Gordy name, the Lawson name, the Knowles connection, she could have coasted, but she chose to build. Season 7 of Queen Sugar marked the end. After everything Darla had been through, where would her story land?
It is surreal, and I may not fully know how I feel until some time has passes, because I've lived with her for 6 years.
Yeah.
It's almost like I've lived a parallel life.
Bianca admitted she might not fully process it until time passes. 6 years of living parallel to a character doesn't just disappear.
When you start the thing, you can't even imagine, right, the evolution. And I love her story and where she is.
But this final season, Darla is blossoming in ways we haven't seen before, stepping into the fullness of who she's capable of becoming.
When they treated you like nothing, I stood by you. Why can't you do the same?
Right here.
Running off to the mill to help Charlie is the same thing as taking her side.
Aunt Violet, who's been Darla's biggest critic, finally gave her the flowers she deserved, told her she's worthy. Step into your power. You don't need validation. Just know that you are it. That message wasn't just for Darla. No matter how bad things are, how dark they get, it's not the end of your road. It's not the end of your story. You can still have your happily ever after, maybe even greater than before. As long as you keep getting back up, keep moving forward, you'll make your way.
There's never anything to feel shame about or feel like you missed out on opportunities, it's all learning, right? And I think as long as you keep getting back up, you keep moving forward, you keep trying again, you'll make your way.
At 45 years old, Bianca Lawson has accomplished something rare. 4 decades of consistent work. From Saved by the Bell, the new class, to Buffy, to Dawson's Creek, to Save the Last Dance, to Pretty Little Liars, to Queen Sugar. She's played every age, every emotion, every shade of human experience. Her net worth as of 2025 sits at approximately $2 million, modest by Hollywood standards, but earned through choices that prioritized art over commerce, mystery over fame, depth over exposure. Queen Sugar earned multiple NAACP Image Award nominations throughout its run.
You see yourself, you celebrate each other, and I think you can't sort of wait for other people to do it, right? Because they're not going to. So I think if we support and celebrate each other, that's like the beautiful thing about it.
And standing in that room with her castmates, Bianca understood something about celebration. You can't wait for others to do it. You support each other because those other spaces, they're not built for you. She loves losing herself in a character, but all the stuff around it, the business, the politics, that's when she wants to quit.
You're using our bodies, ourselves, are instruments, right? As opposed to like a cello or something, right? You're channeling everything through you and expressing it. And I know it's a business, but for me, it's the love of the storytelling. There have been characters that I've embodied that I needed to at that time that helped me with my stuff. So it's really been a blessing. But the rest of it, the business of it, the politics, all that stuff,
yeah.
that can be tough.
But right on the edge, an opportunity comes that won't let her quit. For 3 decades, that's been the pattern.
There have been times when I've wanted to quit, for sure. And it's always like right when you're at the precipice of quitting, this amazing opportunity comes into your life and doesn't let you quit.
So what's the secret to Bianca Lawson's ageless career? It's not about looking young. It's about never staying down.
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure there have been times in my life where I thought, thank God I'm an artist, because all of these traumas, if you will, maybe they would have been for nothing, but now I can use it and channel it into a character and have greater empathy and compassion and understanding.
People say they're angry at Darla for this or that, but there's something about her. She's trying, like we're all trying, just trying to figure it out and get through another day. And Bianca, she brought all that vulnerability to the screen for 6 years, gave us a character who proved redemption is possible, that love can survive the unsurvivable, that your past doesn't define your future. But what about the chemistry with Kofi Cerebo? The question everyone's still asking. Well, that's the thing about Bianca Lawson. She's been keeping secrets for 35 years, and she's not about to stop now. Currently, she's working on new projects she can't discuss. Following her on Instagram at Bianca Jasmine Lawson is the only way to catch glimpses of what's next. For the first time, she's stepping into roles that match her actual age, exploring what it means to be a woman in her mid-40s in an industry that spent 2 decades asking her to play half that. And as for marriage, children, and all those personal questions everyone keeps asking, Bianca Lawson remains Hollywood's most beautiful mystery, connected to music royalty on both sides. Beyonce's former stepsister, Barry Gordy's great niece, Marvin Gaye's family. But above all, she's an artist who spent 35 years proving that the rules don't apply the same way to everyone. That mystery is more powerful than exposure, that you can come from royalty and still make your own mark.